All right, we are on the Hall of Fame bets page, and here is the play that I want to show you. There are two plays actually, but they have similar cap. One is for Saturday, one is for tomorrow. And what I'm going to show you is Sam Darnold. I took a rushing ladder on Sam Darnold. So one, Sam Darnold does terribly against the Rams no matter what team he's been on. They chase him around the pocket like it's nobody's business. He also does not have his left tackle, crosses out, and that just creates reasons to run. So I'm going to show you, though, here. We are definitely, as CJ mentioned, in rush yard season for quarterbacks, especially in division. So nothing spectacular here. Looking at least, if you look at least 10, let's be normal. Let's look at 5. Even money. He had 5 last week, against the Colts in a look ahead. He had 23 2 weeks ago against Atlanta. And then here's the filter that I used, and one of the filters that I really love about Hall of Fame bets. Look what happens against the NFC West, no matter what team he's been on the last 2 years. It is, and I will fully say, like, these NFC West teams are all kind of built the same. They're all built with really solid pressured.
See, and I never
trenches.
used the division filters, so this is interesting.
I love using it. I use, so it was part of the reason why I used some things on Tua over completions against the AFC North, because it's the same types of defenses in cold weather. And so I was like, okay, well, what could it look like if he does this against these teams? So the reason I use division a lot is because they play these teams. It's familiarity. Mm-hmm. They're familiar with each other, and teams are familiar, and teams are also built similar within each other because they're playing each other multiple times within that division. So obviously Sam Darnold was not on the Seattle Seahawks last year. He was on the Minnesota Vikings, but he still had problems with this, with NFC West teams, to a point where he was constantly running. And the average that he has against NFC teams, I mean, this is pretty stark. It's a pretty big sample size. And he, and this, stretches all the way back to the beginning of last year. He's averaging 15.5. High stakes game that they lost the other one to the Rams. If they lose this, they could drop as far down to 7. If they win this, they put a stranglehold on the division because they can win out. And I took it, and the number's 5. By the way, if you really want to get creative, like, he had 11 against them 2 weeks ago. So even if you don't want to care about that stuff, it still works out really well. So it's one of the things I like about Hall of Fame bets is that you can look at the last 2 seasons, which I think is just a solid way to do sample sizes against teams. And I love this. I also bet his anytime touchdown 17-1. I find that touchdowns that are a sharper, and by sharper I mean just off market price on FanDuel, I find to be more accurate. I just think FanDuel in general is better for that. So that said, I'm on that tomorrow. So I did a ladder. I did it up to 20 yards. We could take a look at this, and you can see that 10 is plus 220 and 20 is 610, which is phenomenal. So did a little bit on that, did a little bit of a rushing ladder on a primetime game. And I did the same type of thing. You get a bonus play here with Jalen Hurts under passing attempts, which first of all, he just never goes over it to begin with. And then when you look at NFC East, the only times in the last 2 years he's gone over it have been in losses. And the only time he goes over it in general are in losses. I expect him to win. And that is part of the cap for the whole thing, because they clinch the division if they win this.
We also talked about this whenever I think I had played this back when they were playing the Rams in week 3. And the first thing you said to me was, "Oh, so you think they're going to win?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, maybe." And you're like, "Yeah, okay." Then that.
Well, and so that kind of made the you just got muted. I didn't. Oh, there you go.
I did. I'm here.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you meant to. But, well, that was part of my cap on Drake May. Drake May only goes over his rush. I mean, obviously a lot of losses last year, but he went over his rushing all the time when he was losing. And when they started winning, he stopped. When the win streak really kicked into gear, he stopped running. And I thought they were going to lose the game anyway. So this kind of goes back to the main point. Like, when you cap a prop, cap what you think is going to happen within the game. And you have to do that and reverse engineer it from there. So that is our Hall of Fame bet segment. Again, use code DADS our guest is also does stuff with Hall of Fame bets, so we're not being awkward about things in here when we talk it up, when we bring in McInnes, who's in the back room right now. But Sam Darnold over 4.5 rushing yards, ladder it up. Jalen Hurts under 28.5 pass attempts. It's also really effing high, just for a guy that, say what you want, but it's not what he's doing. So yeah,